Hi, you're getting this video because your child received a snazzy little binder for us. And if they haven't received it yet, it means that it's either coming or we need you to come into school to pick it up. On this binder will hopefully be their name. And if their name is not there, then no problem, just write it in yourself. There's also going to be some Velcro. This Velcro is optional with one exception. Sorry, I have this student's here, but I covered up this student's name. There are some pennies on the bottom, and I want to tell you about what those are. So, for some of our kiddos in school, we would be giving them what we call penny reinforcement. So every time they do something that we're really excited about, or they start to comply, or they finish something, depends on the kid. If it's going to be every 30 seconds or every 30 minutes, we're going to give them a penny until they get all the way up to 5 pennies. And they're working for something. For some of our kids, they need to see a picture of what they're working for because they forget. And so for those kids, we have a couple of options for you. Number one, you can ask us here at school to create some of those visuals, and they would look like pages of Velcro pieces. Okay, so if you really want us to create that, we can. The problem with it for home is that sometimes kids take them and they throw them on the ground and they get all scattered, and then parents are like, oh, I don't have time to deal with this. And I get it. I'm a parent. I know you probably don't have time to deal with that. So you might not want to go the Velcro route, and that's why we didn't make any of those for you to begin with, just in case you decided that really wasn't a good route for you. But what you could do, and unfortunately, I just ran out of all of my small Post-its, so I'm going to take a big one and I'm going to tear it in half. I'm going to write on here what I am working for. I am working for, let's say, book reading with mom. Spending some time cuddling with mom for reading a book, right? So I can just put a little Post-it right on there to remind me that I am working for book with mom. And when I get that last penny, then it's time to go read a book with mom. Awesome. Okay, the other thing is up here, you're going to have some Velcro for your schedule. Again, this is something that not everyone is going to want. Matter of fact, most of you are not going to want it because it's pretty labor intensive. But I did put it up there in case you want us to create a Velcro schedule for you. So what you would do here, if you want us to create a schedule, is you would have your Velcro pieces and you would take them out in the order 3 things maybe, or 2 or 3 things. Let's say that this kid can handle 3 things. Some kids can only handle 2, and that's okay. And we would put it on and we say, okay, first we have reading, then we have gym, and then we have snack time. So the kid can see what's happening during their day. And then when those things are done, actually after each thing is done, kids often like to take it off and put it away. But let's say we wait till all 3 of them are done. Then the kiddo can go in and put it away, and then you can put up the next 3 things. If you would rather not deal with all of that, just write it on a piece of paper, or most of your teachers are providing you with some kind of visual schedule that you can use instead. So that there's less to manage if you decide to do it that way. Okay, now open up your binder. You are going to find some things. You're going to find behavior visuals. These are just an easy and quick way to help your kid remember what's expected of them. For these, you may not even need to say the word with your voice. Matter of fact, it can be much more effective if you just point to what you want the child to do. It saves your voice a lot of work. It's less interruptive, etc. So if your kid is doing something that maybe they're not supposed to be doing right now, you can open it up to this page and point to stop, and then wait for 5 seconds. If they don't respond, then you can either point again, or you might want to say it at that point and say, stop, right? And then there's some other things here too. A lot of them have to do with school, but things that you could totally do at home would be stop, quiet, that your kiddo needs to sit down right then, it's time to do your work, etc. Okay? So then in the middle of your binder, you are going to have some pages. They're going to look a little like this. And they are lots of different, what we call social scripts or social stories that just kind of tell you the rules, right? Some of our kids need to have the rules read to them many, many times. And maybe not told as a command, like a lot of kids, myself included, don't like to be told, keep the device clean. But if you've got a little story about keeping the device clean, and that's an area that your kid struggles with, you could read this together every single morning before you start your distance learning. So read the ones that really apply to your kid. They can color the pages in as well if you would like them to have that opportunity. And you don't need to read all of them. Just find the ones that really apply to your kid and use those. Okay, finally, we have our feelings page. It's really important that your kid can start to identify how they're feeling, especially when they're starting to get really frustrated, anxious, or upset. So we want our kids to know that they're starting to feel frustrated or they're getting really silly, right? Usually okay and happy, they know that. That's not a problem. The issue tends to be when they're in this yellow zone. That yellow zone is when they have a little too much energy and they just can't learn because they've got a little too much energy. So what we can do is teach them these calming strategies when they have a little too much energy. And I like to have the 4 strategies so that they can pick and choose, because some kids like to do one thing and other kids like to do a different thing. So teach them, okay, when I'm feeling one of these things, I can breathe deeply. Practice doing it with your kid. 5, 10, 15 deep breaths. I can count slowly. Key here is slowly. Have your kid practice very slowly, counting to 10, 20, 30, 100. I can take a break. Some of our kids don't realize that they need to take a break. They're too frustrated and they're too worked up. But we need to teach them it's okay to take a break. We all take breaks. Finally, we can teach them if they're starting to feel frustrated, silly, excited, or upset, that they can ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. We all need to ask for help. So providing these visual choices helps some kids who feel stuck. There's just so much emotion going on that they can't even think about what their choices are. So this provides a great way, just a visual way to help them, and you, as their caregiver, to help reinforce that and help teach them these strategies as well. I hope that that's helpful. I hope that you get some good use out of your binder. In addition, if we send home any more stories like these, we call them social stories, you can go ahead and just put them straight into your child's binder so that they're all kept in one place and they're all neat and organized. If you lose your pennies, because you will, you can ask us for some more and we can bring them to the office, or you can just come up with another way of doing this reinforcement. Something that I like to do during my sessions with kids, it's really fast and it's really easy, is I make a tic-tac-toe grid. And every time the child participates, does something awesome, or I just want to praise them, I give them a star or a smiley face. And then when all 9 of those squares are taken up with a star or a smiley face, then they earn whatever it is they've been working for. And so that's a nice option because you can put it on a sticky and just stick it to their binder, stick it to the table, etc. So again, this is just a binder for you guys. It's a tool. If you need things customized or you need some very specific icons, please let us know and we can start working on that for you to pick up. Thanks.